It's Aloha Friday. Lahaina Lee here with your real estate market report for Friday, July 24th. All right, full disclosure here. I gathered all the stats and wrote the copy yesterday, Friday, but it was a busy day and didn't quite get everything into the can. So this morning we were up early and we were out with friends on a pack whale cruise out to Molokini. It was absolutely spectacular. The water was crystal clear. The boat was less than half full. Everybody was socially distanced, and well, my face is telling the tale. So, meanwhile, back to business. Last week, we gave you some video of some of the businesses that are open on Front Street. So today, we went out and shot some video of businesses that are open off Front Street. It was really fun. Some of those tough, resilient entrepreneurs have stayed open through this entire thing. Others were just opening, and some were even having a grand opening, specifically the new Thai chef. It's the same recipes, same restaurant, same prices as before, but with a new Thai owner. You'll have video on that on Lahaina Lee channel on YouTube, coming soon. As Barbra Streisand once said, "Oy vey, what a day I've had today." Well, the same thing can be said for Hawaii, but it's actually been a few days, and there's more on the way. Hawaii has done a pretty darn good job of containing COVID cases. However, on Wednesday, we set a new one-day record for new cases at 55. On Thursday, we beat that with 60 new cases, and Friday, we had an additional 73 cases. Most of those were on Oahu, just a few here on Maui. And the reason that they're giving is 4th of July, people not social distancing, going to bars and so forth, other kinds of social events, and not wearing masks. It is what it is. While we've opened up inter-island travel without the quarantine, the 14-day quarantine is still mandatory for trans-Pacific flights. However, enforcement is spotty. And I'm hearing from friends and seeing on social media such as Facebook that people are arriving on trans-Pacific flights and just ignoring the mandatory quarantine. And if that's not enough, we're getting ready for Hurricane Douglas. It's to the east of Hilo right now and headed right for us. Some wise guy commented on social media that locusts are next. All that, and schools are scheduled to open in early August. I only bring that up to transition into the next point, which is who's coming to Maui and who's leaving Maui. As realtors, who's moving in and who's moving out is a big deal. It's also a big deal for the Maui economy in general. Who's coming in includes people from major metropolitan tech centers. Think Silicon Valley, Seattle, and any other place that employs a lot of people who could technically work from anywhere on the planet with a good internet connection. There are other folks who've had enough, decided to retire, and move to Maui. A new group are people with children who are in places where in-classroom school may not be starting this fall, or they've decided to opt for homeschooling, which they can do from anywhere, including Maui. Who's leaving are people who need jobs, and that's a lot of people. These are people that are working restaurants, retail, hotels, and the like. They're people that are providing services. And when those businesses get ready to reopen, those people are not going to be coming back to work, which is going to make reopening all the more challenging. And as we always say, that affects the economy, and the economy affects real estate. So, let's do the numbers. Total sales this week reached 63. That's the most since the last week in June as we head into the last week in July next week. 30 homes sold at a median selling price of just over $785,000, which just reinforces how much appetite there is for single-family homes. And sellers are getting 99% of asking price. Condos continued their steady pace at 25 sales this week, and more than half of those were condos that allow short-term rental. So even with virtually no tourists coming to Maui, buyers and investors are seeing the value in Maui condotels. Oh, and those sellers got an even 100% of asking price. New contracts, pendings, continued on a very steady pace of 47. Only 17 of those were homes, likely reflecting our sparse inventory situation, but the median asking price for those homes is above the median selling prices we've been seeing. So maybe prices are actually rising, and maybe the appetite for those higher prices is fueled by low interest rates. 20 condos went into contract, same as last week. The median price for those was lower than previous weeks. However, at sales of 20 a week, condos are holding steady and inventory is pretty well balanced with demand. New listings dropped below 100 for the first time in 3 weeks. 31 new homes were listed, just keeping pace with the number of sales closed. The median price for the new listings is $839, just about the same as the asking price for those that went under contract. So my expectation is that those new listings will sell pretty quickly. 44 new condos were listed, which is down quite a bit from the previous couple of weeks. And while the asking price on the new listings is higher than those selling this week, it's really not out of line with those that have sold so far this month. There were 17 expireds this week. A lot of those were vacant land. Only 4 were homes. They had a median price point of just under $1.2 million and were on the market for an average of just under a year. So maybe it wasn't their time. The 4 condos that expired had a median price point of $899.9 and were on the market an average of 254 days. 14 listings were canceled during the week. Only one of those was a home, and it was on the market just 12 days. Maybe they changed their minds? 9 were condos with a median price of $514.5, and those were only on the market an average of 76 days. So just a comment on that. I hear on the mainland properties are selling in days and weeks, not months. But on Maui, it's never been unusual to see condos, especially condotels, on the market for 150, 180 days or longer. It's just the nature of the beast. That's our real estate wrap up for the week. Stay well, stay safe, and let us hear from you. You can reach me, Lee, at alohapots.com. From Maui, aloha! Ask your doctor if Maui is right for you.